In this video, let us continue to solve problems based on circles. We've got a problem here which reads like this. A racetrack is in the form of a ring whose inner circumference is 352 meters and the outer circumference is 396 meters. Find the width of the track. So they say that it's in the form of a ring, right? So which translates to circular. So that's what it means. So say it is something like this. The inner circumference is 352 meters. So this is 352. And the outer circumference is 396. All right. So this is 396 meters and this is 352 meters. So this is the track, right? We've got 396 meters and 352 meters, and this is the track, right? So what we have to do here is find the width of the track. So we need to find this width. It's going to be constant all around. So how are we going to do this? It's pretty simple. Since these are concentric circles, right? It's in the form of a ring. So we've got this radius, the radius of the smaller circle, and the radius of the larger circle. So we subtract the radius of the smaller circle from the radius of the larger circle to get this measurement. That's what it is. So if you extend this, till here is the radius of the smaller circle, and this one is the radius of the bigger circle. So we just have to find this length. So all that we have to do is subtract the smaller radius from the larger radius. So to do that, we need to find the radii of both the circles, right? So yeah. So we've got the circumference of the bigger circle. Say let's name the circles C outer, that is CO, and then C inner, right? So the circumference of the outer circle is nothing but 2 pi r. That is given as 396. So 2 times 22 by 7 times r. So r is nothing but 396 times 7 over 2 times 22. So 11 2 times is 22 and 11 3 times is 33. Remainder is 6. So 11 6 times is 66. So 2 times 18 and 2 times 9 gives you 18. So 9 times 7 gives you 63. So the radius of the bigger circle is a 63 meters. So that is done. So radius of the outer circle, rather. Yeah, this is very important. So next, for this, we've got the inner circumference, that is CI, equal to, again, 2 pi RI, radius of the inner. All right. So that is given as 352. So 352 equals 2 times 22 by 7 into R inner. So we've got the radius of the inner circle as 352 times 7 over 2 times 22. Again, 11 times 2 gives you 22, and 11 times 32 gives you 352. And 2 times 16 gives you 32, and 2 times 8 gives you 16. So 8 times 7 is 56. So the radius of the inner circle is 56 meters. So if you need the width of the racing track, you need to, all right, let me write it here. Width of the racetrack is given by R outer, that is the radius of the outer circle, minus the radius of the inner circle, which is equal to 63 minus 56, which is 7 meters. Therefore, the width of the racetrack is equal to 7 meters. So this ends this problem. A very simple problem. It's a matter of understanding the way concentric circles work. Well, if you haven't understood that, please do watch the previous videos in which the concept of concentric circles is explained clearly. All right. Before I conclude this video, let me solve another problem. So we've got another problem a little similar to the previous problem. Only thing that we need to calculate another extra thing in this problem. So the question reads like this. The inner circumference of a circular track is 220 meters. The track is 7 meters wide everywhere. Calculate the cost of putting up a fence along the outer circle at the rate of rupees 2 per meter. All right, so what we have to do is, we've been given some good data here. This is the inner circumference of a circular track, and that measures 220 meters. And then the track is 7 meters wide everywhere. This width is 7 meters. All right, so something like that. So yeah, here it is. It is 7 meters wide equally outside. All right, let me write here 7 meters wide. So we need to calculate the cost of putting up a fence along the outer circle, right? We do not know the circumference of the outer circle. So therefore, we need to calculate the circumference of the outer circle and just multiply that by rupees 2. And then you're going to get, the cost of putting up a fence along the outer circle. So let us solve this problem and find the circumference of the outer circle now. So what we've got here is the inner circumference, which measures 220 meters. So let us find the inner radius now. Now, how do we find the outer circumference? All we need the radius of the inner circle, that is this one. Once we find this radius of the inner circle, we can add 7 to it to get the radius of the outer circle. So once you get the radius of the outer circle, all you have to do is substitute in the formula of the circumference, which is 2 pi r, to get the circumference of the outer circle. And then multiply that by rupees 2, because per meter it costs rupees 2 to set up a fence. All right. Let us say this is Ri, that is our inner, and this as Ro, our outer. So the inner circumference is 2 pi Ri equal to 220. So we've got 2 pi Ri equal to 220, where Ri stands for the inner radius. So Ri equals 220 over 2 times 22 by 7, because pi is 22 by 7. That's what they've told here, which is nothing but 220 times 7 over 2 times 22. So 22 goes 10 times in 220 and 2 goes 5 times in 10. So we've got the inner radius as 35 meters. So once you get this as 35, the outer radius is nothing but 35 plus 7, which is 42 meters. Right? So that is equal to 42 meters. So the outer radius equals 42 meters. So that's that. We've got the inner radius and the outer radius. Now we know that the radius of the bigger circle, that is the outer circle, is 42 meters, right? So we can easily find the circumference of the outer circle by substituting the value of the outer radius in 2 pi r. So let's find out the outer circumference. The outer circumference will be given by 2 pi r naught, that is equal to 2 times 22 by 7 into 42. So 7 times 6 gives you 42. So multiplying 2 times 22 times 6 gives you 264. So the outer circumference is 264 meters. So if it costs rupees 2 per meter, the cost of fence, right, it's going to be 264 into 2, which is equal to rupees 528. So the cost of putting up a fence along the outer circle at the rate of rupees 2 per meter is going to be rupees 528. All right, because 1 meter costs rupees 2 and we've got 264 meters to be fenced overall. So just multiply that by 2 and you've got 528.